In the quiet hills of Alderbrook, where the river sang softly through the fields, lived a man named Lian Morel, known by everyone as the one who could never say no. If someone's fence broke, Lian fixed it. If a traveler needed a bed, he gave his own. If the mayor's son needed a favor, Lian was already on the way before anyone even asked. He was the kind of man everyone praised and quietly took advantage of. But kindness, when stretched too thin, starts to hurt. And Lian's smile, once full of warmth, was now hiding exhaustion. One evening, as the sun melted behind the wheat fields, Lian sat on his porch repairing yet another cartwheel that wasn't his. His hands trembled, his eyes heavy with fatigue. That's when his neighbor, old Rhea, a woman known for her sharp wisdom, stopped by. She watched him for a while, then said, "You help the whole village, boy, but tell me, who helps you?" Lian looked up, confused. "I don't do it for help," he said softly. "I do it because it's right." Rhea sighed. "And what if right costs you your peace? Even rivers know when to stop. They rest in still ponds before flowing again." Her words hung in the air like wind chimes, but Lian brushed them off with a smile, thinking he was just being humble, not realizing he was slowly disappearing behind his own kindness. That night, the wind carried the sound of tools clinking and tired breaths. Lian didn't know it yet, but soon he'd be forced to face what happens when you give too much and forget yourself in the process. That evening, dark clouds began to gather over Alderbrook. The air felt heavy, the kind that warns you of a storm before it begins. Lian walked home through the muddy road, his clothes soaked in sweat and dust, his mind repeating one sentence over and over: "Of course." When he reached his porch, he found old Rhea waiting under the roof, holding an umbrella and a frown. "You missed supper again," she said, "and Ben's plow is still broken." Lian dropped his tools and sighed. "I was helping the mayor," he replied quietly. Rhea looked at him, eyes sharp but kind. "Helping or obeying?" The question cut deeper than the rain that began to fall. He didn't answer. That night, thunder rolled through the valley. Water leaked from his roof, dripping onto the floor beside his bed. He tried to sleep, but every drop echoed louder than the one before, each one sounding like another yes he had given when he wanted to say no. Then came a knock at the door. Through the rain stood Mira, the baker's daughter, clutching her shawl. "Lian," she cried, "our roof collapsed. My mother's hurt. Please help us." Without thinking, he grabbed his lantern and tools. He ran through the storm, his feet splashing through puddles. The bakery's roof was half gone, water pouring inside. He worked through the night, patching wood and lifting beams. His hands bled, his body trembled, but he didn't stop. When the storm finally calmed, dawn was breaking. Soft, golden, and cruelly peaceful. Mira held his hand and whispered, "Thank you, but you look so tired." Lian forced a weak smile. "I'm fine." But when he tried to stand, his knees gave way. He collapsed to the ground, whispering, "I just wanted to help."
When Lian woke, sunlight was pouring through the window. His hands were wrapped in cloth, his tools stacked neatly beside him. Old Rhea sat in the chair next to his bed, snoring softly with her head tilted back. He tried to move, but his body ached like stone. It was then he realized he couldn't lift another person's burden anymore, not because he didn't care, but because he had nothing left to give. A quiet knock came at the door. It was the mayor's assistant again, holding another note. Rhea took it before Lian could reach for it. She opened it, read it once, then looked the man in the eye. "Tell your master," she said calmly, "that Lian won't be rebuilding anything today or tomorrow." The assistant frowned. "But the mayor said—" Rhea's tone turned sharp. "The mayor has 2 hands. Let him use them." The man hesitated, then left. Lian stared at her, startled. "You shouldn't have." Rhea interrupted. "Boy, you've spent your whole life saying yes to everyone else. It's about time you said yes to yourself." He sat there, quiet. For the first time, silence didn't feel like guilt. It felt like peace. Days passed. His body healed slowly, but something deeper had already begun to mend. When people came knocking, Lian helped only when he truly could, not out of fear, but choice. And strangely, the world didn't fall apart. In fact, people started to respect his time, even the mayor. One evening, he sat by the river with Rhea, watching the sunset paint the sky in gold. She asked softly, "So, what did you learn, Lian?" He smiled, eyes calm as the water before him. "That helping others is good," he said, "but losing yourself while doing it isn't kindness, it's surrender." The wind rustled the reeds, carrying his words down the valley, gentle, steady, and free.